Hello, everyone. It is January the 28th, and it's 2022, and my name is Will Gatlin. I'm here to actually do a recap of life, basically. 58 years old now, born 1963, and I feel like if you're 50 years and over, this video is for you. That our parents kind of had a evolution or a revolution about life, and now we have an evolution and a revolution about life. And my recap is basically going to be simple. It's going to be what our parents did and what we need to do what they did to try to keep our lives intact. And this is for just living. This is just for being healthy. This is for high blood pressure, diabetes. But forget all the naming of how you incorporate these diseases and these health problems on our bodies. Let's just work with what we need to stay healthy and how we need to teach our children what it takes to be healthy. So if you're 50 and over, please grab a seat. If you're under 50, tell somebody that's 50 and over they should listen to this, because we are the enforcers. We are the ones who are the grandparents or who are going to give wisdom to the new generation. And this new generation needs me and you to be able to enhance their comprehension of what it takes to live on Earth. Now, I'm going to break it down in 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes, and we're going to do this in 10 minutes. I'm going to try to get this done. And all I got to say is that if you can share, if you can sincerely start preparing yourself and your grandbabies for life instead of death, then they can have a beginning and an end. Because we have 4 quarters. We have a first quarter that's 1 through 25, from 25 to 50, second quarter, 50 to 75, third quarter, 75 to 100, fourth quarter. Everybody wants to try to live to that fourth quarter. So I know I do. And I want to share with people that what my mom shared with me about phlegm. And this is about inflammation. This is about how the body takes in and we swallow daily phlegm. And she always had a cup by her sofa where she would spit out the phlegm, because inflammation would build up on her body. And she made it to 89. She almost made it to her fourth quarter, man. Did she make it to her fourth quarter? Yeah, she made it to her fourth quarter. The phlegm, the inflammation, the stuff that comes daily, that comes up, you have to get rid of. If you keep it on your body, that's what houses all of the disease and all of the sickness. Because phlegm is one of the main things that carries germs. Phlegm, inflammation, water will stay still and stay standing and cause mildew. Phlegm, water, inflammation, and what they call dehydration all works together. So if you're 50 and over, grab a seat and remember that your grandma would always say, get the phlegm off of your body. And if you don't get the phlegm off your body, I'm here to tell you that you get disease after watching for 50 years of people talk about inflammation, not understanding how somebody can go so complex and not be simplex. See, this is a simple world, and the world only revolves off of evolution and revelation and removing toxicities by moving the air. So if the air sits still, then you get disease. So anything that sits still in the air rots. I don't know who this is, but we'll see. And if you're rotting, then you are not progressing, and a rotted area houses germs. And nothing likes germs more than other germs. So when the environment gets filled with germs like a common cold, or they call it the flu, or the corona, or whatever you want to call it, your body becomes a host. Now, the biggest thing I'm here teaching people is that how not to host a germ. Germs are made from moisture and air. We all know this. You don't have to be a scientist, just keep it simplistic and simple, and you can understand how to combat and how to live on Earth, even by the plants, because you have to water, but if it gets infected, then you know it grows bugs. And if your plant's starting to grow bugs, then you know your plant's starting to die because you have too much moisture and too much air, which is a perfect environment for growing germs. So with that, the human body is living in air. And if the air doesn't stay regulated, the only way a human body regulates air is through burping. The only way an animal regulates an air is through burping. Monkey, dog, bird, snake, horse. Research, go through all this scientific stuff if you want, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in life. Eventually, they're going to come and tell you that this sickness is in the air, and it's maintained by your body not being regulated and circulated, whether if it's retaining water, moisture, which makes you get high blood pressure and diabetes, or whether if it's retaining what they call inflammation, which makes you get poor circulation. If your body is not prepared to regulate the blood, the water, and the air, these are the three components that your body has, and you have filters for them. The water has the bladder, the air has the lungs, and the blood has the liver. So you want to keep all of these three sacs and these three filters, or whatever you want to call them, cleansed. Now, well, how do you clean them? Well, you clean them by keeping them regulated and keeping things moving. If you keep your body in a state of being inflamed with water, see, water is your danger. And that's what's going to come out, is that the phlegm is going to settle into you're going to swallow the disease, and the disease comes into your mouth and through your nose and through your ears and through your eyes, but it goes down into your digestive system. And this digestive system is the root. And at that point, that's where the disease forms, and it comes back and it attacks different parts of the body. Some will attack the upper part of the lungs, the airway. The problem is when it gets to the lower part of the airway, where your doctor can't help you and when they need to put you on a ventilator. Now, the biggest thing I'm trying to teach you is that if you keep the air moving, regulated, keep the phlegm off of your body by hocking, spitting. You've heard that word, hock, hock, hock. If you haven't heard about hocking, then you need to go back to your grandmother. She was a professional hocker, and she would spit out that phlegm and she would get rid of it daily, because each human on earth produces about 3/4 to a full cup of phlegm per day, depends on your weight. And if you take that phlegm and keep swallowing it, all you're doing is maintaining the disease that's in that phlegm. So I hope this is a very important message, and I hope you get to share it, and I hope you get to understand where I'm coming from, is that the first sign of sickness is if you can't burp. If you can't burp that baby is sick. That baby's called colic. And colic simply means that you have gas on your stomach. And gas is gonna present a problem because stopped up gas makes what we call inflammation, because the air has precipitation, the air has humidity, the air has dew, the air has rain, and the air has snow, and it's all breaking down to water. So if you retain air on your body, you will retain water, which will give you disease, which will welcome new viruses, which will welcome the common cold, which would welcome the flu. And I must say, I haven't had the flu, the cold, and this virus. I haven't even caught it. Had an itchy throat, but never bothered me. Then come on, next day, I'm fine. But one thing I am doing, and I'm being conscious of it, if I'm around somebody, I'm burping that air and I'm regulating. That means keeping it moving. They say, oh, they told you when you're little, if you don't move it, you're going to lose it. So all of this is in a perspective of how the earth works. The earth moves, you have to move. The air moves, you have to move. And if you don't, you die. If you leave a dead body in the air, it rots. You leave food in the air, your mother say, get my food out the air, put it in the refrigerator because I don't want my food to spoil. So I hope that you understand that what I'm saying is simplistic. And if you take this most simplistic thing and put it to use, you won't have to worry about all the other things that rhyme would seem. All right, because you could see with your eyes, you could hear with your ears, and you could smell with your nose, and you could taste with your mouth, and you definitely have feelings with your hand, but you know where you start is with your heart. So go back to your grandmama and keep yourself regulated. All right, God bless you all. I just wanted to bring you this message today. And my brother's birthday coming up. Happy birthday, big brother. God bless you, Woodford. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace. Hope I didn't go over my 10 minutes. Yes, indeed.